Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session on the healing behind the challenges. So, here's the today's agenda, and firstly, I'm going to give a quick introduction of myself, and then I'm going to start with some really interesting facts before I move on to the challenges part, because it is very important to understand the why behind certain things so that when I come to the challenges part, you would be able to understand it in a better way. So I'm going to talk about our five-layered being and the energy and mental body and their connection. Then I would touch upon how suppressing emotions can be really harmful to our mind and body, and I'm going to talk about few common patterns as well. And then I'm going to touch upon the manifestation part because that is quite a buzzword these days. So I'm just going to touch upon how does manifestation not work always. And then I will finally be talking about the challenges, the five challenges that you have done in the last week, and what are some of the hidden messages, meaning behind all those challenges. And finally, this session would be incomplete if I do not share my own story, my my healing story, where what kind of challenges that I was facing in my own personal life, and what are the things that I did because of which I am the person that you are, seeing me today. And lastly, we are going to end it with a very beautiful self-love meditation. So this is the agenda and okay, so here is a quick introduction. I'm Ruchi Dwivedi Sharma and I'm coming from Gwalior, MP, and I stayed there for most of the part of my life while growing up. And after that, I did my BTech from NIT Jalandhar. And that's after my graduation, I started working in the IT sector. My first company was Cognizant, and then I worked in some of the really esteemed companies like Fujitsu, IBM, Accenture, to name a few. And after working tirelessly for 15 long years in the IT sector, I finally found my calling where I felt like I really had this need of helping people out in their lives, and that's how I chose this path of becoming a life coach. So I got my certification last week, and I'm now a certified life coach and a counselor and a pranic healer as well. And there are few things that I would like to talk when we come towards the last segment of this session. When I will be talking more about my journey from the IT sector to this life coaching part. So stay tuned and wait till the end. Okay, so as promised, this is the very first thing that I'm going to talk about because if we do not understand what are we being made of, we human beings, it would be very difficult to understand the all the things that are happening in our mind or body or their connection. So whatever I'm going to share with you in the later slides, it won't make any sense if I firstly talk about this very, very important part. So we human beings are five-layered person. So as you can see on the slide, I have named those five things as different koshas because this is something which is coming from our scriptures as well. But just to make things a bit simpler for you, I'm going to just emphasize on the three main parts, which is our Annamaya kosha. It is nothing but our physical body that we can see, feel, touch. So, your skin, your hair, your bones, your blood, anything physical. Okay, so this comes under the Annamaya kosha, that is the topmost layer. Okay, so we can, easily, just touch and feel this part. Second comes your uh, Pranamaya kosha. So Pranamaya kosha is nothing but your energy body. So we all have prana inside us, life force. Okay, so this So this energy body is in a subtle form. So we cannot actually see it or feel it like like the way we do with our physical body. But yeah, with practice, the people who are actually pranic healers, they have developed that kind of intelligence, because of which they can simply feel somebody's aura and the energy, and then they do some practices to heal. But we are not going into that thing. But just to let you know, like we all are having an energy body which help us to heal, feel energetic, and it is something like it is having some, energy centers, we call it chakras in the yogic system. And about movement, our speech, everything is being defined by our pranamaya kosha, okay, which is called energy body. And third super important thing is our manomaya kosha, which is our mental body, which is full of our mind, our emotions, feelings, thoughts, or whatever actually we keep on struggling with, it all falls under Manomaya Kosha. And apart from there, there are two other layers as well, as we come, on the top side, which are like um, intellect body, the wisdom body, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and the lastly is the Anandamaya Kosha, which is like, connecting yourself with the divine, your spiritual self. So these two are like, very high level layers, and I'm not going to talk about that. But yeah, for our understanding, it is very important to understand your physical body, your energy body, as well as your mental body. Because no healing, no development is complete until and unless you actually pay attention to all these three aspects, of yourself. If you just keep on working on the mental body but do not pay attention to your energy body or vice versa, then you're not going to get that holistic development and the healing because of whatever struggles that you are facing in your life. So it is very important to have that coordination between all of these three layers of a human being, and that is something which I'm going to explain further in the next slide. Okay, so coming to the mental body part first. So as I said, it is full of your emotion, thoughts, your mind, your patterns and everything. So it is really important, before jumping into judging yourself, going through some painful stuff, it is very important to understand how does this mind work actually. Okay, so I'm not going to go deep into that medical terminology because otherwise it would become very difficult for you to understand. But yeah, in simpler ways, what I can say is we have these two, three layers in our mind. So we have this conscious thinking, as you can see in the left image over here, and then we have a unconscious and subconscious thinking. So now the important thing here is you would be surprised to know that the conscious thinking, like the one which I'm using right now, it is just the 5%, just 5% of our mind. So it is having the short-term memory, your logical thinking, your willpower, decisions, analysis, etc. But when it comes to unconscious thinking, which plays a super major role in your day-to-day life, which is 95%. So all of your beliefs, whatever beliefs that you are carrying in your mind, your identity, your creativity, all the emotional part, your imagination, your self-confidence, your habits, your long-term memory, automatically bodily function, like where we keep on breathing but we do not actually consciously think about it. Also, so many things are there which we do unconsciously. So this is the part of the mind basically which plays that part. So that is the reason why, even though we are having, sometimes a very strong, willpower to do something, but still we keep on falling in our, old trap of procrastination, and we're not able to develop some really healthy habits about ourselves. And similarly, when it comes to especially beliefs that are sometimes so much ingrained in our unconscious thinking that it becomes difficult to come out of that and create some really healthy beliefs so that we can proceed further in life. But This is how our mind works. And so it is very important to understand these two parts so that whenever we work on our thought patterns, on our emotional level, we should understand like okay, most of the things are there in my unconscious mind. So I have to tap into that and work on that so that whatever the outcome that I'm looking out for, I should be able to, reach that. And there is a different image also at the right, where they are, it's a brain image. So this is more, I would say, technical terminology that is being used, from the, medical science. But it is very important to understand, like in our brain, there are three things here. Okay, so there is a basically father brain, okay, that the reptilian brain, which is called, and the red one, which is basically the survival brain. So the survival brain, father brain, whatever you call it is basically just, looking out for, just giving us comfort, or just, it remains in the survival, mindset. And the second comes your mother brain, which is limbic system, mammalian. So it is something which is made up of all the emotional part, empathy, and everything, like all mother does. So that's why these two are the father brain and the mother brain. But here comes the child brain, which is there in the green color box. Okay, the neocortex, which is our human brain, it is like, logical and abstract thoughts goes there. So why I'm talking about these three parts? The reason why, because this mother brain and father brain are function on a different platform. As I said, the father brain is more about giving you, survival and comfort, and the mother brain is about emotional. This child brain is like logical and want to do things, and all this creativity and everything. So there has to be proper communication between the, father, mother, and the child, so whatever your goal is, about your self improvement or whatever things that you're desiring for, so they have to be in the proper coordination. Otherwise, what will happen? You are having few things in mind, you want to do it logically, but something inside you is, just pushing you, sorry, pulling you back. Okay, you're not able to get that, very important push to move forward and reach out for your goal because there is no coordination. And that is why, sometimes we, keep on, doing some procrastination in our life, and we really want to achieve something but we are unable to. So this is all the, things which are happening in our, brain and mind level, because of which we are, unable to do few things. Okay, so here comes the next part about thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And this is very important to understand because our challenge number one was somehow associated with that. And the image that you are seeing here about the pressure cooker, this is, very nice, and this is something which even I learned during my, this training as a coach. And it was very meaningful to, understand all that basics behind your thoughts and feelings. Okay, so coming here, as you can see, here is a very nice picture of a pressure cooker that we see on a daily basis in our kitchen, that we use for, cooking our food. So here, as you can see, there is a whistle at the top. So in the middle, okay, and there is a pressure cooker, and the top there's a whistle, and in the lower side you can see some flame is coming up. Okay, so if you draw an analogy with our behavior, feelings, and thoughts, so what is happening here is, sometimes what happens, we just keep on, juggling with our some so-called negative emotions, like we just get angry or irritated, and we do few things, which we actually do not desire to, but we end up doing those things. So, and what we try to do is like we try to just fix up things at the behavior level, okay, at the action level. Okay, I will not get angry again, I will not get irritated or something like that. But it is just like, pulling off the, this whistle of the pressure cooker. You are not actually going deep inside what is happening inside the pressure cooker. So what is happening here is, in the middle you can see there is a feeling part. Okay, so you have come up with some behavior, okay, or action, but actually this is related with some of the feelings that you are struggling within. Okay, and then if you come again at the bottom, there are some thoughts or judgment or needs which is like a fire. Okay, so what is happening here is, in your mind there are some thoughts going on, there are some beliefs, there are some unmet needs because of which you are feeling in a certain way, and because of that actually you are going to behave in a certain way. So your, if your feelings are, all the good feelings, you're feeling happy, excited, all those, good emotions, then obviously your behavior is also going to be good. Okay, because some of your needs are met, and you are not having any irrational patterns, thought patterns over here. But contrary to that, if you are having some not very, good belief systems about yourself or others, or there are some judgment, or there are some unmet needs, then it is quite obvious to have those negative feelings, and that is going to trigger you to behave in a way which you really do not want to. So this example was pretty simple to understand, like how our, behavior and feelings and thoughts are interrelated. And it is not really advisable to just, work on the whistle part. Okay, I will not do this, I will not do that, but actually see through what is happening inside. So similarly, at the right side, you can see about the, triggers. Triggers is nothing but, some buttons on yourself. This is like wearing buttons. So when, you are being triggered, because of whatever reason, a person or a situation, you're going to react in certain ways. Again, depending upon what are the thoughts and needs are behind that. So it is very important to become aware of what is happening inside and being aware of your triggers. Because once you become aware, you would be able to, handle your emotions, handle all those push buttons, and it would be really nice to, understand all those things. Okay, so similarly here, what is actually happening is the thing that I've just told you, it is now being, there is a proper, boxes and a flowchart kind of thing to make you understand this the same thing in a better way. So here you can see there is a situation. Okay, so like very simple example, like you are being criticized at work, or maybe by some family members. So this is some kind of a triggering situation which has happened. Okay. So after that, if you are having some kind of thought pattern in your mind, like, okay, what is going on in my thought? Okay, and this is all happening at a very unconscious level. Okay, so if you are having that thought process, like, okay, I'm not good enough. Oh, I did such a bad thing. Oh, I'm horrible, or that person is horrible, or something like that, then obviously the emotions part, the way you are feeling are like maybe worthless, anxious, some other bad words about yourself or the situation or the other person. But at this, in the and at the same time, when you're going through that emotions, but at the same time, you're definitely going to get some physical reactions because of those emotions as well. So how is your body reacting? So you might feel a sudden pain in the head, or some congestion in the chest, or or something happening, choking kind of sensation in the throat, or you're just feeling very tired, or or something like that. So the reason why I'm emphasizing on this thing is, like, whenever you're going through any kind of hard emotions, just try to see if your body is also giving you some reaction. And this is actually, this is a, direct connection between our physical reaction and the emotion. So this is just something which, happens all the time. So you are getting the physical reaction because of some emotions, and finally you are going through some, behavior. So you are doing, what are you going to do? Maybe you avoid contact with others, you don't, you just avoid that person, or you do something, you start shouting at some other person because of whatever anger thing that you are going through in your mind. So this is the whole thing actually which happens inside us, but this happens at such a subtle level, at the unconscious level, that it becomes difficult to, tap into your emotions, and at that moment, understanding your everything, what is happening, and then, take a proper behavior, that which is suitable for yourself. But most of the time we end up, behaving in a way which we, regret later on. Okay, so again, the same thing like it's an event is happening, and definitely some trigger point, is being, some trigger point has been hit. Like we are wearing some different kind of buttons over ourselves, and then you're going through some, different emotions. So it's very important to understand your triggers so that, whenever a similar kind of event happens, you would be able to tap into your emotions and handle it in a proper way. So, I have talked about, how we are dealing, how we need to deal with our, feelings, emotions, and the thought process. So I've been repeatedly using this with thought patterns, thought patterns. So they are thought patterns are nothing but our belief system. Okay, our beliefs, our inner script. So they are the two, three words that I'm going to use for the same thing. You can call it your beliefs, you can call it your inner scripts, you can call it thought patterns. So basically, a belief is something that is being a thought which is repeated many times. So it becomes a belief. A thought repeatedly, repeated many times, it becomes a belief in ourselves. And there we all human beings are having few beliefs, and it is something that we have just inherited a few beliefs from our past life, if you believe in all that reincarnation thing, or maybe in our from in this life, right from the childhood, till the time, that we have grown up, and till today. I mean, we just keep on, generating some kind of beliefs in ourselves. Okay, so all our behavior is basically belief driven. Okay, so we make it as a reality, a truth in our mental model, and so that, we all are having some, bad beliefs, or right beliefs, or the not so right beliefs, because these are the beliefs actually which give you that much needed energy, okay, or a to do, mindset to achieve something. So if you're having a right mindset, right belief, obviously you're going to go after your goals, and you're going to, understand all the hurdles, and you're going to do things, in a proper way. But if you're having any sort of limiting beliefs about yourself, or about the world, or the other people around, so they actually become a roadblock in your life's journey. They are nothing but like invisible walls that we can actually see and touch, and do something about it. But they are actually stopping your growth, because they are, these beliefs just run around as a, internal critic, or our, some kind of sounds in our head. So they either become a motivating factor for you, okay, which is motivating you to take some action, or the other side, they might be, acting as a roadblock. So the beliefs are, super duper important in our overall life journey, and they are so much deep rooted at our in consciousness. Like it becomes really important to tap into those, and then understand what are my belief system which are, causing me such kind of issue, and then we can, work on that, and accordingly we can just take right decisions so that to move ahead. So here are some of the example of the disempowering beliefs, as you can see, and the first one is something that I think most of us can easily relate to. Okay, so we are just, sometimes just label a person like, okay, my spouse is not supportive, and or I'm not good at my work. Like sometimes we get a very negative feedback, and if this kind of sound is, coming in our mind, some kind of inner critic, okay, you are not good, you did not do your best. Or similarly, if you're having such kind of belief like, okay, it is very difficult to lose weight. So if you are having that belief, but on the outside you are, going to the gym, and you're doing all the training and the, diet and everything, but if you're having that belief inside yourself, it becomes difficult to actually, have that goal fulfilled of, losing out your weight. So it is all about, generating that kind of energy, like what kind of beliefs that you're having. Or if you're, like people are not loyal in this, or if you are, you had some kind of bad experience and you are trying to generalize it, or other people must treat me kindly and fairly, or else they are bad. Okay, so again, it is kind of a generalizing someone, or demandingness kind of thing. So all these disempowering beliefs are nothing but where we are demanding a lot of things from the other person, like he should, he must, or what kind of things that we do, again at the unconscious level. And if we are just making some rating kind of thing, okay, that person is like that, or self rating, I'm horrible, I'm not a good person because of such thing happened, or all those things actually they bind together and make some disempowering beliefs in our mind. But on the contrary, there are empowering beliefs as well. So if you're having that, positive belief about yourself, or or the other person, like I am a lucky person, or those people, my parents love me. I can be kind to myself even when I mess up. So you're taking up the responsibility, or my needs are very valid even if others don't understand them. So here there is no demandingness from the other person. Okay, even if somebody is able to understand me, it's fine, but if it doesn't happen, it's okay as well. Okay, and I take responsibility of my life and action. This is such an empowering belief. It is definitely going to give you that that much needed push to go out of the way and do things for your own happiness. Okay, so I think you got the point, like about the empowering and disempowering belief. And if somebody is coming from the IT background, there is a very simple example that I can tell you. Like we used to do coding, and we are having this if-else statement. So these beliefs are nothing but kind of a scripts that are that plays inside our mind. So whenever a situation comes, some kind of coding start to happen, and we already have that ingrained in our mind at such a deep level that we just try to see things. Okay, this has happened, so this should be the reaction, or this has happened, so this should be the reaction as per our belief system that are going on. So, you must be wondering, like, why I'm talking so much about, these inner scripts or thought patterns. Like, how do they affect us? Maybe they might be affecting on, just one part of my life, not the other. So it's okay to move ahead like this. It's completely fine. But here is something that I want to, tell you. Like these scripts affects us at a unconsciously at all the levels, and we are not able to actually live our lives fully because of all those inner scripts which are not really good for us. So here in the diagram, you can see, it affects our body, our physical body, our family relationships, our career, our bank balance, the, money part, and our, self spirituality. So here to give you a very, simple example, like sometimes, like when we are not able to, do our best, or, and we are kind of, some self-criticizing ourselves. Okay, I did not, do enough, or I'm not good enough. So you can see if such kind of belief system is there, then obviously it is going to affect your, self-belief and the kind of image that you are creating yourself. It's definitely going to harm your physical body in some way, because all these negative emotions are not going to good for that. Then definitely when you're carrying such kind of belief for yourself, it would be pretty hard for you to maintain healthy relationships in your family or with your colleagues. Then again, the same mindset is going to cost you a lot in your career ambitions as well, and which will directly affect your financial part. And then lastly, and many people these days are talking about spirituality and everything, especially when we move towards 40s and 50s. We try to think about connecting with the divine and everything. But there is one thing which I learned from my mentor as well. It was a very beautiful line. Like, until unless you are not connected with your own self, it becomes very difficult to connect with the divine. So yeah, if you are carrying, some kind of, not so good stuff inside your mind, it becomes very difficult to, have that clarity and some, clear thought process, and then try to, connect with the higher beings. So yeah, so definitely this was something which was important for you to understand, is like, and these scripts have very powerful effect on all the important areas of our life. They are different buckets of our life. So it's very important to understand, okay, which is one script which is causing me a lot of pain, and it is it is getting difficult in all those areas, so I need to work on that. Okay, and it's not something that we need to be judgmental about, because we every one of us are carrying some beliefs. Okay, because of that we are taking decisions and our thought process and everything. So it's completely fine to firstly acknowledge, okay, oh, these are some of the beliefs that I'm carrying, because I used to have and I'm still having so many of not so good beliefs, and I'm still working on them. But having the acknowledgement at the first place is very much important. Okay, so next is about my identity. This is more about, having belief about yourself. Okay, how you're identifying yourself. Okay, what are these some words that pops up in your mind when you're talking about I am? Okay, so this is really important because your identity is going to control your thoughts about yourself, your emotional level, your feelings, your behaviors, and everything. So this identity is very much important, and sometimes we do lack out on creating a very good healthy identity of ourselves, even though we look very confident from outside, like for the world we say, okay, no, I'm confident, I'm super achiever and everything, but maybe inside something is some inner voice is coming and no, you are not, you did you did that mistake, and you were underachiever in that situation or something like that. So this creating a very good identity of yourself is very important. So having an empowering identity is something that should be there for our goal. Like if you're having a strong identity of yourself, like okay, I'm intelligent, I'm compassionate, I'm hardworking, and so many things. So as you can see now, if you're having a negative identity of yourself, like okay, I'm lazy, or I cannot wake up early, I'm good for nothing, or I'm anxious, I'm overthinker. So all those words actually that you're saying, you're unconsciously saying to yourself, you're creating a pattern. So whenever a really opportunity comes up, a very good opportunity is coming up your way, but if you're having that identity, okay, no, I won't be able to do it, or maybe I'm not that sufficient, or whatever it's like, it is bound to cost you a lot, because you do not realize it, but actually in that situation you might not be able to give out your best, because something there in your mind is just not making you go ahead in that direction. So very good example here is like, I'm diabetic. Okay, so it's okay, I mean, you might be thinking, okay, I am having some sugar level issue, so if I'm saying I'm diabetic, what is the issue with that? But here is the catch. If you're having some sugar related issue, it's fine, and you're working on your diet, exercise, and everything. But in your mind, if you had just placed that identity, okay, I am diabetic. So even though you're doing all the external things, you're popping up the pills, you're doing, this and that, for your healthy lifestyle, somehow your body cells, your mind and everything is not going to take up that entirely and give you the results that you are being expecting, because you have created that identity of yourself as I am diabetic. Okay, so I think you have got my point. Like, if there is a mismatch between the outer things that you are doing and your inner belief about yourself, it's going to clash. You are not going to get the result that you're aspiring for. So this is why creating a very empowering identity about yourself, and just stopping that inner critic voice is really important, so that you would be able to achieve whatever your aspirations are. Okay, so this was all about the mental body. Now comes the next thing, is the energy body. So energy body is something we all are carrying, and it is, as I said previously in the very first slide, like this is at a very subtle level, so we cannot actually just go and see and touch. Only the people who are trained in this science, they can definitely do that and touch anybody's aura, energies, chakras and everything, and make the healing for them. But yeah, this is something very important to know, and I feel like many of you, or must be just seeing this stuff for the very first time. Even it was my case also a few years back when I got to know about it. But why I'm talking about this energy body is because our thoughts have energy in it. Our thoughts are electric in nature. Okay, so that's how, if you feel like, if somebody is from the medical background, they would be able to understand how our brain, this all entire nervous system works. We keep on getting some signals from here and there, then the brain is, giving some signals so that we are able to, lift up our hand, we are able to open our mouth and do all the activities. So this all are things happening at that level. Okay, so similarly, what I'm trying to say here is our thoughts are electric in nature. Okay, so that's why we all are having this electromagnetic body. The kind of thoughts we are carrying, we're actually going to release that kind of energy. That energy is nothing but the electromagnetic field that we all are having. So here you can see in the pictures, here this aura. Aura is nothing but, you can see, this is a part of the energy body. Okay, so why is it important to understand it? If you're not carrying good thought patterns, and if for some cases there has been some kind of traumatic or pain, some pain memory is being is still there in your mind, so that everything is being stored in the form of energy in some or other body part. Okay, so those are thoughts, those are memories, whatever was there, it actually start accumulating in your body in the form of some bad energy. Actually, what it does is, like, obviously when there is some bad energy stuck inside your, there are going to be holes in your aura. Okay, so your aura becomes dirty, and from that, obviously, you're going to get some diseases. So all the physical diseases actually that we keep on having, maybe a headache or some viral infection or something related, with the heart, or some other important organs. So basically, all these things start to happening at the energy level first. That then only it get manifested at the physical level. Okay, so this is really important to understand, because when we are talking about thoughts and the mind level stuff, the energy part of that is equally important. Otherwise, you might not be getting the desired result. So here we human beings are having seven main energy centers. They are called chakras in yogic system, and this is something you can easily read in anywhere on the Google. So these chakras plays a major role, because as we are having this they are having some energy meridians, because of which the energy keep on rotating to all the parts of our physical organs, and that's how we get the energy, and all the organs also get the energy to do the stuff. So as you say, the energy body is nothing but our pranic body and the life energy force. So this energy thing is really important to understand. And for overall healing, need to work on the energy centers and the aura, and cleaning up the dirty energy which are there inside the body. So, as I said earlier, so there is a strong connection between the body and the mind. So, if you are going through some of the, some very irrational thought patterns for a long time, or there is some traumatic or pain memory associated with that, so it become, there are high chances that you might develop some kind of bodily discomfort because of those, bad emotions, sometimes in the form of some pain, pain or discomfort. People nowadays are having so much of back pain, or some neck related issue, sometimes the joints pain. So in most of the cases, studies have found that there is a direct connection between your, emotional level and the, the bodily pain that you are going through. And even some of the lifestyle diseases like BP and sugar and, in fact, cancer, they are being directly linked to the stress level of a person. Okay, if the person has, some kind of traumatic past, or some kind of, very bad stuff has happened in his life, then and if there is a weaker portion, the weaker part in the body, So that energy of that thought or of that painful memory gets stuck at that particular location only, and which generally develop in the form of cancer cells as well. And this is something which I'm not saying on my own. You can definitely check that out on the internet. So this is simply interrelated, and that is why it is very, very important not to suppress our emotion. Take care of your feelings, emotion, because there is a direct connection between the mind and the energy. So if you just try to push away your, emotional thoughts or the feelings, and if you're not able to regularize your emotions, it becomes very difficult. Actually, at some point it's going to explode in a very different way. It is like just carrying that time bomb all the time. So you keep on suppressing, 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 because most of the time we do not want to feel the difficult experience of going through that memory, or whatever the thing which is causing you the issue. And sometimes we just do not feel like expressing ourselves because of we shouldn't be showing like we are not tolerant enough. And it might be something like we should not be disrespectful to any of the people in the family, or maybe if I try to work on all these things, it would be a sign of weakness. So many things actually which happens, and that is actually doesn't allow us to express our emotions, to actually tap into our feelings and emotions and the body parts, so that we can understand what is happening, and we can work on the same. And as I said, these are the some of the common illness that people are facing these days. Most of the things are directly related with what is happening in your mind and at the energy level. So if you go to a doctor also, the very first thing most of the doctors say, please work on our stress level, anxiety. Don't take unnecessary stress, because as doctors they know like this is like directly interrelated. So that's why suppressing emotions can never be a solution for anything. It's really important that you work on the same and understand what is the main thing that is creating issue. So here are some of the common patterns that I've listed out. These are some of the very common things which I have seen in my clients, and how I could figure out, okay, this is something which has happened in the child, because most of our beliefs are forming in the family setup, because the kind of upbringing that we have received from our parents, the kind of social experience we had, the kind of adulthood we had, the kind of friends we had, the kind of social networking we had. There's so many things which actually help in creating our these so-called beliefs and the patterns in us. So there was a direct, most of the case there was a direct connection between the childhood part and the adulthood. So here are some of the common examples which I have put in, so that it becomes easy for you to understand what I'm talking about. Okay. A client of mine, he complained of, feeling constant anxiety and a fear of failure, fear of rejection, and procrastination. Okay. He was a high achiever. He was very smart, confident from the outside, but that procrastination thing was something which was, really bothering him a lot. So when I took his history, and when, we both, tried to understand what is actually happening, so I could see like in the childhood, he was very much blamed and shamed for anything going wrong. It was not a normal feedback that we receive from our elders in the family, because everybody make mistakes, especially as kids, we do a lot. But it was a very harsh treatment, very much, okay, how could you do that? And you're also irresponsible. You cannot do this thing nicely, or something like that. Because of which he had developed this pattern, and it was coming as an procrastination in the adult, because he was having that failure of, doing things wrong, and because of which he was, having this anxiety and everything. Okay, a second example here is in the adulthood, a person was facing things like, okay, you can't negotiate, you deserve better, but you settle for less. Okay, so you self-sabotage when opportunities come, you don't take them, you feel you are not ready, yeah, and you feel like I'm having memory loss. Okay, so these kind of thing are happening whenever you tried expressing yourself, but you were asked to keep quiet or move on. And this is something which is very much relatable, if as a child or maybe in early adulthood, you are not being given an environment where you are able to express yourself, in a very confident way, or if there are too many elders in the family, or maybe you're the younger sibling or being always said to just, follow my orders, you just keep quiet, you do not know things. So it becomes very difficult to have that, proper healthy communication in the adulthood, because you always feel like, okay, you do not deserve this, or it's okay if somebody is saying I should just go with that, and you're not able to actually understand your own self-worth. Third example here is like you're confused, you overthink, you're not able to think independently, and you procrastinate again here. Okay, so here a most common pattern is, because in a family, if an adult is making all the decisions and you are not allowed to make mistakes, okay, it is now being said, okay, when you are having a small kids at home, you should allow them to get engaged in small activities, small doable stuff, so that they do mistake, they do understand. If there is too much of overprotection, and then it becomes, very difficult in the childhood, to have that clarity in thinking, and you take, decisions very nicely and independently. Again, one more example, and this one is like very, very common one. Like you're seeking validation and approval, and sometimes you're seeking negative attention also by making mistakes or wrong decisions. And at the end, you're, ending up feeling like frustrated, insecure, and you feel like you should be perfectionist. Okay, now this is why is it coming, because maybe in the childhood you went through some really tough in comparison, maybe with your sibling or maybe some your, very super duper smart cousins, and you are being expected to be perfect in everything, in arts, in studies, in sports, in everything, and you were not being given a very, proper feedback in when you did something, wrong. So you had become that mindset, okay, I should be a perfectionist, okay, and I need to take validation from other people for whatever the kind of things I want to do. You are not able to validate your own decisions, or whatever thing that you are doing for yourself. And the last example here is like you keep giving more and receiving back very less. You can't say no to people, and people take you for granted. This is again a very common thing, common pattern. Okay, so a very common childhood thing here that came up was like, as a child, you played as a referee in the fights and arguments, and you were always like, compromising kind of a person. So people just, start taking you for granted because you're not able to draw that boundary with the people, not able to communicate what you are actually feeling. So you end up just taking whatever is being coming your way. Okay, so now comes a very, very interesting part about manifestation. So I talked about energy body, mental body, their connection, and just about I talked about some of the common pattern. But manifestation is something which is nowadays a very buzzword everywhere. If you see on YouTube or Instagram, there are coaches where they're mainly working on the manifestation part. But here is the catch, uh, you just can't manifest, positive things in your life until and unless you actually start vibrating at that level that you are actually trying to get from the universe out there. So as I told you, that's the reason why I talked about the energy body part. You keep on vibrating energy all the time, your electromagnetic field. And that's the reason why we attract, some typical kind of people or situation in our life. So if you really want to attract, you want to manifest, good relationship, good health, money, or whatever thing that you desire for, it is very, very important to start actually vibrating at that level so that the frequency gets matched. It's a very simple thing to understand. Like there is an example of that radio one, like we all use. We just, if we try to get connected to a particular radio station, so we need to just match ourselves with that frequency, then only we'll start getting the signal from there. So this is the same thing which happens with ourselves as well. Our thoughts have energy. Our body is, electromagnetic. So the kind of people also we are attracting in our lives, it depends upon the kind of vibration that your body is emitting. So it is very important to raise your vibration, okay? To have that proper good beliefs, good identity, empowering identity, having, good energy inside yourself with all the good emotions so that you can then attract respect, love, happiness, and all those, good things in your life. So just manifestation or, doing some affirmations is not going to work. You have to actually go at the deeper level and understand how you are vibrating. So there was a study being done by a very great scientist, and as you can see here, these are the frequency levels of all these emotions, and this is a funnel as you can see. So enlightenment, peace, joy, acceptance. You can see all these are vibrating at the high level emotions, and as you go down here, you can see shame, guilt, grief, fear, anger, all of them are vibrating at the low level. So and we keep on carrying these emotions unconsciously, and because of that our vibration is low. We are vibrating at a low frequency, and then we keep on attracting those low frequency people and situation in life, and this is the main logic behind that. Okay, so so after giving you some small gyan about what are some of the things that you needed to understand, here is the main part comes like because all of us all of us go through some or other in our life, and we all are being carrying some kind of baggage, some kind of past memories, difficult situation, because of which we keep on struggling with some kind of a mindset issue, some emotional difficulty and everything. But here it is very important to understand, you really want to become in that victimhood mode, okay, that why me attitude, and blaming the situation or the people outside for whatever things that you're going through, not able to take the responsibility of your life, and obviously then you feel powerless and stuck. Or on the contrary, you want to become aware of yourself, okay, you want to you want to gather resources to achieve whatever your life goals are. You are ready to have that I can do mindset, I can take responsibility of my life, okay. So once you have that kind of awareness, definitely you're going to become very grounded, and you can take up any challenges in your life. You can definitely achieve your life goals. But if you're having that blame mindset and that victim mindset, and that rather I would say that mere साथ ही क्यों हुआ, why me, it is happening just because of that person of the situation, it is not going to work out. Let me be very clear on this thing. Our mind is not going to accept all those things, and then obviously you will feel stuck. You won't be able to do things that you are really capable of. So it's very important to become aware of what is happening, and then you can definitely work on that to proceed further. Okay, so done with this part, and now I'm going to talk about the 5-day challenges. So firstly, I'm really grateful to all of you who did all these interesting activities. And now I have told you about some of the whys behind that. It is now the time to actually talk about why was it that small activity was so much important, was so much crucial actually. If you can really start, understanding all those things, and then you can definitely turn the wheel and start thinking, behaving, feeling in a way that is very empowering for yourself. Okay, so first challenge was about pause and name what you feel. Okay, so just in the beginning itself, I that's why I told you about all the feeling, behavior, and thought part about that pressure cooker example, because most of the time we just rush through our emotions or we just avoid them. Okay, most of the time, and if somebody asks us, "How are you doing?" Okay, good, bad, not so good, not so bad. We actually do not give time to ourselves to just pause for a second to actually try to feel what is going on inside, which is very, very important. Now comes the hidden meaning, because the moment you name what you feel, naming your feeling is very, very important, because once you just name your feeling, okay, I'm feeling fearful, I'm feeling guilty, I'm feeling proud of myself, I'm feeling confused. Okay, so once you just, just name your feelings, you become so empowered that you're able to take charge. Okay, I'm feeling this way. There could be some underlying needs behind that. Maybe there could be some belief because of which I'm feeling that. Then you can tap into that and understand, develop that awareness. Okay, I need to take charge. What can I do about it now? That's a very powerful question. What can I do about it now? Okay, so it's not like you're just getting driven by emotional autopilot, but you are becoming now supercharged, and you're getting that emotionally awareness about your own feelings and your needs, and then you can definitely understand how to move ahead. So this was really important, and this activity is something that you should do actually in your day-to-day situations. It will give you a very clear picture of what is happening inside you, and you can definitely work on that, because every feeling is associated with a particular need, any unmet need, or a belief, as I said. So you can understand what am I needing in that moment, and accordingly you can see through it. Second was about the mirror work. So I know most of you must have had felt a little bit of awkwardness, but it was really important to break the ice and start developing a very simple practice of seeing yourself without any judgment, accepting yourself with all the flaws that you have, with so much of love and honesty. Because in real world, actually, we do judge ourselves. We do not say that thing upfront, but we do. Okay, sometimes that's inner critic, or sometimes maybe the situation or some other person has done that, but it becomes difficult to actually give ourselves that love and attention that our own self really desire to. Okay, so this activity, the hidden meaning behind was to just silently accepting yourself. Okay, when you are seeing and looking into your eyes with some sort of love, care, attention, a healing, internal healing start to happen, because you have been judging yourself, you have been criticizing yourself for so many things or flaws till date. So it's just a pausing moment where you do not allow anybody else to give you that affirmation, but you are just standing right in front of you, looking into your eyes to develop that self trust and self love. So please keep on doing this activity also. It I guarantee you it is going to do wonders in your life. You can add any affirmations that you really, that empowering identity that you have for yourself. Okay, so third challenge was about emotional release, where I ask you to just write whatever the thing, the bad stuff that is bothering you, and just burn it. Why I said burning it? Because it is being said the Agni, the fire element, is something which is very helpful in destroying any negative energy. And this is the why reason, because we Indians especially, we just lit diya or candle or whatever in the form of that fire in our house to get rid of negative energy. So the reason why, like as I told you, every thought, every emotion, every memory, every pain, everything that is being stuck in your mind, it is in the form of energy. Okay. So when you actually write it out, firstly, it releases some of the energy. When you're writing it out, in your writing on some paper. So whether it was some pain or guilt or any old memory, any anger, you're giving it a name. Naming is very important. You're acknowledging it to let it go out of your system, which is sitting inside us in the form of energy. Okay, so that's how you did it. So the hidden message here was is like, we're letting it go. We're letting that energy part of that bad stuff go, and it is not about just forgetting about it. Because yeah, sometimes it is very difficult to forget, because everything, every single thing that has happened till date is stored in our mind, in the unconscious mind. Okay, so we do not actually remember it using our conscious mind, but everything is being there. Okay, so but it is very important for us to understand, like, this pain memory is actually harming us more. If you do not release that emotional clutter, you're not going to make a space for that clarity or your healing that you really want in your life. Whatever has happened, but now it's up to you. If you really want to carry that baggage of that anger or that pain or whatever thing was there, you want to just release it. It is about just just letting it go. Let me just free up my space from all that negativity. So this is again a very good practice. Many of the therapists recommend this. So whenever there is a, we are going through some fear, you're going through some pain, or you're just having some anger, just write it out. Writing itself is like 50% part is done, and then secondly, burn it. Simple. You will definitely see some difference, but some people also said like they are not able to feel lighter even after doing this, because this is one way of doing it. But if you have so much of negative energies is still stuck inside you, it needs deep work, it needs deep healing, otherwise it will be very difficult. Okay, then last challenge 4 is about a love letter to yourself. So again, this was about accepting you fully and giving you yourself that recognition, that love, that kind of encouraging words that you have always wanted to hear from someone. And most of the time, it doesn't happen that way. We just keep on expecting other person to look through how hard we have been doing so far, and just appreciate what I'm doing. Just appreciate my looks, appreciate, whatever the things that I'm doing for you. But here, the hidden meaning was you should not outsource your self-worth. It is not important. If we just keep on chasing things in the wrong places, it's okay. It's very nice if somebody is appreciating ourselves, writing a very nice letter to ourselves. But at the same time, it is very important to give that recognition to your own self, your self-respect. You're worthy, you're enough, you're deserving. Everybody, every one of you must have had gone through a lot of difficulty in your life to reach where you are today. So it's very important to just take out some time and show some loving words to yourself. Give that right experience. So again, this is something that you can do on a weekly basis. Write about your achievements, whatever things you have been really proud of yourself. Show some love to yourself basically, which is very important. And lastly, last but not the least, here is about gratitude and gentle promises. So giving thanks and make a promise to your future self, the version that you want to become in the next 2 3 years. You have to make some promise. You have to give some promise to that self. Okay, this is something that I'm going to do from now on. So this was again having some good intention, and having gratitude mindset is really important, because if you remain stuck in that lacking mindset, okay, I'm not having this, I don't have enough money, I don't have a big house, I don't have this, I don't have that. So as I've already talked about this vibration match thing, so if you are having that lack energy a lot of, if you are having a lot of that lack energy, then you are definitely going to attract a lack. So lack attracts lack, and abundance attract abundance. Okay, if you are being feeling gratitude about whatever the great things that you're having in your life, then the universe listens, and you're going to receive the same things in some way or the other. So hidden meaning was gratitude shift your energy. Okay, it is more about abundance than the lack mindset. And when you make a small promise to your own self, that gets fit inside your unconscious memory, which is going to define a lot of things, even if a small thing for yourself. Okay, so this is a place now you're becoming a self-responsible person, and you're going to take charge of your emotions and your life forward. Okay, so I can't believe I'm done with the 5 challenges part as well. So here comes the interesting thing about my own personal story that you have been waiting for. So yeah, as I told you, I'm coming from a very small city, and I had my hardships. It was not very easy for me to crack the entrance examination to get into NIT, but I did it with just my sheer dedication, hard work, and extra support from my family, especially my parents. So I was doing all good. I was academically sound. I did my BTech there for 4 years. Then I got my placement also during the last year of my college. I got into Cognizant, again a very reputed company where I worked for 3 years. And after that kept on just switching from one company to another till I found my footing in Accenture. That was my last company where I worked for 9 long years. I had my two kids also during my when I was working there, and I was coming. I had come from a development background, but in Accenture I got an opportunity to work as a Microsoft certified trainer. So it was again a very different kind of challenging environment for me, but I did good over there as well. I even won best trainer award. So why I'm saying all these things to you, like I had a, if you look from outside, I was having everything. I was having a very nice family. My two kids were there. I was doing very nice professionally. Everything was working nicely for me, but inside me, something was stuck. Something was confused. I was having anxiety attacks. I was feeling very confused. At times, I used to wake up in the mid of night, and I used to start crying for no reason. So I was not able to understand what is happening with me. I was very ambitious. I used to take up challenges and everything, but I was not able to move ahead. I was not able to see the right direction. Then I just took a sabbatical around 3 years back because my body and mind were not supporting me at all. Even though I had a strong background, I was not able to deliver in my work. I was not able to, give my best to my kids. My kids were very young at that time, and I was just feeling very much confused altogether. So at that time, when I took a break, I started thinking about what's next for me. I was not getting any answers. All I was feeling anxious about my future. I was having pain here and there. I was having no clarity, and I was just, getting angry, irritated for no reason. So that's the time when I felt like, okay, this is something that I need to work up upon. And then I took up this life coaching certification course for an year so that I can work on myself. At that time, I was not really looking through, okay, let me do it professionally. But during my healing journey, my inner growth journey, I realized there were so many of those irrational patterns, beliefs, some of the traumatic past that were actually playing the game, and I was not getting aware of that. So firstly, I started with the awareness part. Then I got some methods. I started, healing myself. I started giving time to myself, my needs, my feelings. What are the things that are happening? What is the reason behind that? I worked for like 9, 10 months on a stretch, and by God's grace, I became the person. Somewhat. I became a person that I really wanted to be. I started having my goals. I started having that clarity. I became, very nice with my kids. That is something that I can vouch for. I'm a very, very nice mother to them. I was able to take care of the home stuff, my family, my finances, and everything with a proper, clear mind. And this has all happened because I started working on all these three areas all together: my mindset, my energy body, and my physical body. So that's how I realize it is very important to have that coordination between all these three things. Otherwise, if you just work on the mindset, okay, my mind patterns, as most of the psychologists or my normal mindset coaches or the counselors do, they just work on the thought patterns. Okay, you're having anxiety, okay, do this. You are having this, okay, this. But at the same time, if you're not working the energy part also, it is going to fall back to the same place. This is what something that when I have experienced lately. So yeah, working on the mindset, working on energy level, plus your physical well-being, all these three layers of the human being is something that is called the holistic development. And this is the reason why the things that I had learned during my journey, I just tried recreating the same by my having this signature three-step method, which is reconnecting, reimagining, and rediscovery. So reconnecting is like having that awareness, connect with yourself, understand what is happening inside. then reimagine. You have to break through those patterns. You have to release all those negative energies which are stuck there, and then you can rediscover. You can have that new discovery about yourself. Okay, what kind of person that you want to be, and then really you can become that person by having that holistic overall development of yourself. Okay, so I think I fulfilled my promise of telling whatever things that were required by doing all these 5 challenges, and now comes the last part where I'm inviting you for a one-to-one free clarity or discovery call with me. So I know now you have become aware of what happens inside us, and I think some part of your growth journey has already started because you have actively participated in this challenge. That means you're having you are having that mindset of growing in your life. It is not about just having that victim mindset. You really want to grow. You want to become that best version of yourself. Okay, we cannot be perfect, we can never be, but we can definitely keep on growing. We can keep on becoming the person that we really want to be. So if you're really ready to get on on that journey with me, you can just get in touch with me, and it's going to be a safe space. We can just explore what is really going on, and we can think through what is possible from my end, and I would be really happy to help you in your life's journey. So I know most of you might think like it's fine, we have understood, and we can just start doing things on our own. It is really nice if you can start doing things on your own by having this knowledge, which is really important. You can connect to some of the people who are working in the similar kind of area. But what I can suggest you is having a person right there by your side makes a lot of difference. Okay, and this is something which even I have learned during my journey. Having a person who can help you understand your thought patterns, and why are you behaving in that way, what are the things which are bothering you right from your childhood to adulthood. It makes a lot of difference, and it actually help you grow in a much more better speed. Okay, so it's completely your call, but this is something that I wanted to really share because this is something which I have also learned in my life journey. So but in the end, whatever thing that you choose for yourself, I completely respect with that. But at the same time, as we become a part of each other's life during those 5 challenges, I would humbly request you not to stop this journey by any chance. You have already taken control of your life, of your emotions, of your feelings. So just keep on working on yourself. It's not about other people or the situation, the outside world. Everything is there inside you, and you all are equally capable to just turn the wheel and start building your dream life, and having all those healthy relationships, um, money and career and everything in your life. So thank you so much for giving me your time, and just let me know if you ever want to connect with me. You have all my contact details, and these are some of the client testimonials that I've received from my clients. Okay, so thank you so much, and please take care of yourself.